Hey guys, welcome back. This is Fahd Dawood. I talk about real estate investments, your and my life, and our path to financial freedom. My mantra is that to do anything very well in life, you need to first learn about it, in a way that you can leverage that knowledge, and only then you should be going about investing so that you are not a casualty of the investment world, right? How many people do you know who've chosen to invest, whether it's Bitcoin, real estate, so on and so forth, but they've ended up being a casualty? I personally have been involved in the real estate industry for 14 years. Internationally, started my career in Toronto, Canada, but I've done real estate Pakistan, Canada, UK, Dubai. I've done it internationally, and I've got 14 years of experience with my own investments and helping my investors as well, right? If you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe button, press the bell icon. It helps me make good content, and I know that I'm reaching it out to people who are actually interested in getting information on real estate investment, learning how to become better, and then getting that information out there. Okay, check this out. I decided I'd take up some questions from people who are my subscribers, viewers. You can always ask me questions in the comment section below, but you can also WhatsApp me, right? And I will do my best to get information out back to you. Okay, so I've got a question from a gentleman. I'm not going to name him because he just reached out to me, so just for privacy reasons I haven't asked him first, but let's just give you a little bit of a background on him without naming him. He's based in one of the European countries. I think he's a family of four, is looking for a 4-bedroom house, is going to be moving to Dubai in a new job, in a new role that he is currently under negotiations with. His office is going to be based in Sharjah, and then he's asked me whether he should where he should live, Dubai, Sharjah, or Ajman, or any of the other Emirates, and whether he should, when he does move down here, whether he should buy a house or not. Okay, here's the thing, okay? I'm a student of human life. Okay, I'm gonna digress a little bit, but I hope you can stay with me to the end of the video, because I'm gonna answer his question in detail, but I also want to offer advice that might be helpful for himself or anybody else who's actually viewing this. Okay, I personally think that when you're making this kind of big move, because being born and raised in Dubai to Pakistani parents, I've seen an entire generation of people move to either the West, or now Australia or New Zealand, or to Europe, specifically UK, in search of a better life, right? And I lived 7 years in Toronto, Canada, right? But it wasn't until 2012 that I really started understanding that your life, my life, our life should be based around a long-term plan, a long-term vision. Because if you don't base it around a long-term vision, then ultimately short-term decision making doesn't actually help you in the long term. It's a waste of money and resources. Okay, this is just my 2 cents on. You must have a long-term plan for your life. If you don't, then you end up becoming a tool in somebody else's long-term vision or plan. So this is just something I wanted to put out there, right? Because when you're moving to Dubai, or you're taking up a new role, a job in Dubai, or new employment, there has to be a lot of thinking, a lot of hard work that would have gone into securing this role, right? So this person is probably getting headhunted, or he's been honestly, eagerly for his self applying for roles in the Middle East, right? And it could be for a myriad of reasons. Now, here's what I would rather say to this person, right? When I meet this person, if I was working one-on-one with this person, I would go through a proper consultation, right? I call it a buyer or a tenant consultation, but I try to understand exactly where this person's coming from in order to give him the best advice and service him, whether they're renting, buying, etc., etc., so that they can actually make the most of what they're going to be doing in Dubai and Sharjah, right? Now, here's the thing. Because I'm a Muslim, I can actually talk about this in terms of what are main drivers for people moving to Dubai, right? Taking up a job here. Number one is a lot of times money, right? Jobs in Dubai specifically, if you're Western qualified, right? It's not just about being Western educated, but you're qualified, tend to pay you fairly well. And I've got nothing against this because, I got Western educated, I got Western qualified as well. I went to Toronto, Canada, and I think sometimes there is value in what people in other parts of the developed world are bringing to Dubai in terms of the skill set, their qualifications, so on and so forth. Please feel free to disagree with me. Now, all I'm going to say is that, look, if you're moving to Dubai, there could be a couple of reasons, okay? It could be monetary, so you want to make more money, but do you also want to save a lot of money, right? So it's not just about making more money, because what's the point if you can't save that money and then put it back to perhaps buying a house in your home country or doing other things that you'd like to do with that more money, right? Because Dubai is an expensive place to stay. So if you just come here, make more money, and then spend all of that money, what's the big point about then, right? Because you're not saving enough to invest it in your and your kids' future. Number two, people move to Dubai for family life. The infrastructure is great. The security situation is amazing. The environment's pretty good, right? To raise a good, solid family with good values, right? So Dubai and the UAE is a very value-driven society. And number three, a lot of people move here for religious reasons as well, right? Me being Muslim, I know that there are people from around the world who moved here because they wanted kind of like the best of both worlds, right? They wanted to raise their kids in an Islamic environment as at the same time in a modern place where so some people who are living in the West, originally from, let's say, Pakistan, they can't take their kids to Pakistan because the place isn't that developed. So they want to move to Dubai, where the place is clean, nice, safe, secure, allows them to practice their values. There's religious freedom in Dubai. It's a very tolerant society, but not just Dubai, it's across the UAE, right? So you're free to practice your religion, and nobody's really going to come after you and mock you or put you down, so on and so forth, okay? So now this person also asked me where to live, right? Should I live in Dubai? Should I live in Sharjah? Or should I live in Ajman? Now, obviously, this means somebody who asks me this question, it obviously tells me that they've probably done a fair amount of research on moving to Dubai, but they don't have a definitive answer, because all of these three Emirates are kind of like worlds apart in the way they make you, in the way that you kind of live your life over there, right? Because Dubai is this cosmopolitan city with this immensely huge international airport that's busier than Heathrow. I think it's been busier than Heathrow for 3 or 4 years now. You kind of get every kind of entertainment in Dubai available, from theme parks to resorts to water parks, 5-star hotels, fine dining, etc., etc. Sharjah's a little bit, Sharjah's a sleepier state, industrial, but still it's fairly okay. Ajman's also good, but then the distances between them are fairly large, especially if you take into account morning and evening traffic, the rush hour traffic, right? Now here's the thing, when a person asks you where should I live, right? This person, their office is specifically in Sharjah, but then when I go through my consultation, because this is the thing, like, I don't understand, like, people really need to start looking at real estate investment, and when they move to a new country, as a process-driven event, right? If you've got a map or a script that helps you maneuver through every stage of the process, it's going to be immensely helpful, right? I would definitely recommend that you should download the Real Estate Secrets map. The link is in the description. Understand, I've put 14 years of experience, encapsulated it in a simple map that takes you from step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to help guide you on your way to making a buying decision in Dubai, right? Because this person also asked me, should I rent or buy? But here's something more important. Like, the person asked me, should I live in Sharjah or Dubai? Here's the thing, okay? Now, because his job is going to be in Sharjah, but here's the thing, right? You're going to have to balance several things. Once you move here with your children and your family, your wife, etc., etc., there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be emotionally pushing your buttons, okay? Now, you might have already decided where your children's schooling is going to be, okay? Now, if you're going to be choosing a school for the kids in Dubai, it's not going to make sense for you to live in Sharjah, specifically because if your kids are going to be commuting during the daytime to Dubai, they're going to be going during rush hour traffic, right? There's no way that you're going to be able to drop them if you're living in Sharjah, but the kids' school is in Dubai. There's no way you can drop them because the rush hour traffic is immense and bad. They're probably going to get school bused, and if the school starts at 8, they're going to get picked up at 6 or 6:30 a.m., which I think is unfair for children, right? So it's not going to make things okay. But it could be okay if you live in Dubai and your kid's school is in Sharjah, right? Sharjah has some good schools as well. And your work is in Sharjah. Now, in the morning, you're going to be going against the rush hour traffic. So you've got to pretty much, on most days, out of 365 days, 360 days, you're going to get no traffic at all coming into Sharjah because rush hour traffic is going from Sharjah to Dubai. And then when you're going back, after your work is done, back home to Dubai, people are going to be coming back from Dubai to Sharjah. So again, you're going to not have bad traffic. So that could work. It can't work the opposite way. Ajman, I'm not even going to consider, but it's somebody who moves here doesn't generally consider. But hey, if you want to live in Ajman, so be it. I do know some people who live in Ajman. They've got huge farmhouses there because, you know, the rents are cheaper, so you can get this huge area. You can do whatever you want. I think you can have a horse inside your house and have a big pen for him to ride around on, right? That's how cheap sometimes Ajman could get, right? If you're paying the same amount of money in Dubai compared to Ajman, you could get a large place and you could live there, okay? So this is something I would do in the consultation that I do, right? For an hour and a half, I would ask you where your kid's school is. Now, here's the thing, okay? This thing gets a little emotional too, okay? I remember one of my early mentors and the person I had my first real estate company with in Dubai, him and some of his colleagues, they moved to Dubai after 9/11 happened in the US, right? So they were pretty settled. They had their own houses in New Jersey, New York, etc. But they just weren't comfortable living in the US at that stage. For obvious reasons, they had moved to Dubai. Now, when they moved their kids from the States to Dubai, they promised them this lavish, luxurious lifestyle, right? Now, I'm not going to say that you're moving here and your spouse is going to expect and your children are going to expect the same. When you move to Dubai, you kind of get taken in with all this bling and amazing brand new shiny things, right? Communities that are nicely landscaped. I still remember one of my clients in 2015-16, a very close friend of mine. They moved here from the US, and one of the things that was a big priority for him, even though he was only renting a big massive villa, a 5-bedroom villa, one of the things that was priority for him was, you know, when I come into my community, I want to feel completely relaxed and I want like a green landscape community. Now, back in the time, those landscape communities were expensive, right? Even to rent. And we chose an amazing house. It ticked all the boxes, like 95% of the things. He wanted to be close to some amenities. We got that, tick, tick, tick. Big, massive garden. But you know what happened after the first year? He was getting an allowance from his company, which was about, I think, roughly around, let's talk in dollars terms, roughly around $70,000 a year. He paid extra out of his own pocket for this nice, beautiful villa. But then after year one, he recognized that this large, big, massive garden costs a lot of money, like almost $1,500 a month to maintain in water and gardening services. You know, this is all money that he wanted to actually initially save so he could pay off his house back in the States. And then after year one, I think he slashed his rent by, I think, 50 or 60%. No, 30% at that time. And he moved into an area which was not as beautifully landscaped, still a large enough villa, but enough for his family. But then he decided to start saving, right? So it's what I'm trying to say is when you move to Dubai, there's going to be this emotional grabbing of your heartstrings, right? Your wife's going to want the guests and the relatives that come over to visit you to have to see that you're living it up, like this nice place. Why wouldn't she, right? You're asking her to pick up her life from a European country and follow you to a new country. Great. Well, provide her with the lifestyle. Maybe she works and maybe she wants to chip in as well. Provide her with the lifestyle and the kind of place that you, I don't know, that she dreams of, right? You married her, right? So treat her like the queen that you married her. Now, the thing is, those are the things that you're going to actually, when you move into Dubai, those are the things you're going to have to answer, right? Because some of the houses here are not going to be up to your standard and your taste, and some of them which are going to be expensive. I had a recent client from France, and they said it's something very unique to me. They said some of the houses, now I personally love real estate in Dubai. I think it's very dynamic, and some of the designs are very modern and well placed and being produced really well. But they said like some of the houses that you guys have in Dubai, we would not even see in the most rundown communities of France. Anyways, that's his opinion. Okay, coming to one of the other major questions that he asked is like, should I rent in Dubai or should I purchase in Dubai? Okay, here's the thing. Both have their pros and their cons. If you were renting, okay, if you were renting in Dubai for the first year, you would at least have 1 year to settle down your bearings, understand what's what, understand where is a good place to live, understand about the commute. Sometimes you might put your kids into a school which you don't like. You're going to want to change that in year 2 or year 3. Renting allows you and gives you that option to settle down before you make a major decision, okay? Number 2, you're going to be able to take advantage of the lower rents that are now prevalent in the Dubai market, okay? The rents are low, you can go in there, get great benefit, and most likely if you're moving here, your company's going to be paying your allowance for you, right? Your rental allowance. The disadvantage, obviously the obvious one, is you're paying your landlord's mortgage, or money that you pay goes into your landlord's pocket. A lot of people make this statement that, hey, if you're living on rent, it's money down the drain. I personally don't take that view, and the reason I don't take that personal view is because it's not, right? It's a transaction. You give money to your landlord, and he in return gives you money, gives you shelter, right? So you're getting something in exchange. Money goes down the drain if you went to a casino and you bet some money on a poker table or the roulette table and you lost money. That's down the drain, right? Money that you've given in exchange to get something back, which is a roof over your house and your kid's house, that's not down the drain at all, right? And it's a farcical idea, it's a farcical argument that people make. I don't buy into it at all, right? But let's look at the other side, buying a house, okay? Number one advantage, prices are fairly low right now in Dubai, and you can drive a very good bargain, okay? I'm helping some of my investors purchase properties at 30% lower than market rate right now, okay? Given the current circumstances. Now, this might not last forever, but anyways, prices have been on a downward trajectory. Let's see what happens in the next 3 to 4 months. So if you move in, you can pretty much pick a good deal. And Dubai is an international city. It's not going anywhere. Things come after winter, comes spring. After this, when things go back to normal, we hope inshallah soon, you know, anything that you've picked up at a real heavy discount, price is going to appreciate. At that time, you can choose to sell the house, or you can keep it and enjoy a good rental income, okay? Don't forget, Dubai is a 4 hours flight from 4 billion people around it, okay? The world's going through a strategic change. The new norm is going to come about. Dubai has been very good to adapt to change, okay? So things will stay pretty much the same. The cons, right? How do you know where to buy, okay? This is one of the things there. How do you know you're making the right decision, okay? Until you finalize, you can't okay, number one, how do you know you're making the right decision? Okay, this is a big one, okay? I personally, if I was moving to a new city, like if I was moving to Paris or to London or to New York tomorrow, okay, I would use my own real estate secrets map to actually go step by step to make sure that I'm getting a great deal, right? But one of the things that I would do is I would engage an advisor who I trust on the ground, right? Somebody who's lived in the city, lived in the country for X number of years and has the advantage of guiding me through the decision making process, right? Because that's very important, because like part of my real estate secrets map is that you actually go and feel and breathe and understand different communities, right? And if you've got a hand that's guiding you, that entire process can be encapsulated within an hour or 2 hours in a community, because he's set up pre-appointments, he knows exactly what to show you, and he's got your benefit at heart instead of just making a sale to you. And he's not representing the seller and saying, hey, listen, buy this, it's the best deal, amazing deal, you're gonna come out on top on this one, okay? So it's something that you need to consider and understand to be able to weave your way through the difficult decision-making process of which community is the best, where should you live, should you even purchase in that community right now, and if you do want to purchase, are you getting the best deal, right? Number two is while you're finalizing a place to purchase, and if you choose not to rent for the first year, then technically you're either going to be living at your relative's house for a few months or a hotel, right? So even if the process is shortened, it'll be at least a month, 2 months, and while you're getting all your other things into process, right? And this is the same any city you move to, right? So if you move to Toronto, you're gonna have to apply for your SIN number, your driver's license, your social insurance, I already said, your medical, right? Set up your electricity, etc., etc. Same thing New York, same thing in Dubai. Now things are moving online in Dubai, but everything's not so simple, right? Every city has its own quirkiness, right? So in Dubai, you're gonna have to settle in, get your driving license, buy a car perhaps, etc. Get your kids into school, open your bank account. So while you're doing all of this, you've got also the stress of buying a property, right? So perhaps it's easier to rent a property. Now here's the thing, the process of renting a property is pretty much kind of the same until the selection of where you want to live, as is the purchase of property, because you're going to have to look at a few communities, shortlist them, filter them down, and then start making offers on houses that make sense or apartments that make sense to you. Same thing with purchasing a property, right? The only difference is renting a property is a smaller commitment, because what's the worst that can happen? If the place isn't working out for you, the worst is a 2 months penalty of rent. In Dubai, that's the norm, but under current circumstances, you could probably negotiate a no penalty, just a notice period and an exit clause. But purchasing a property, that's a larger financial commitment, especially if you're looking for a 4-bedroom apartment or a 4-bedroom house, even given the fact that you can get amazing, great deals. Now, I'm in a place where I don't need clients, right? So I don't need to have this person book me on a retainer and then have me guide them through the process. I want the best to happen for them. And I'm really, truly coming to an understanding as I'm growing older that the reason that people have lost so much money investing in real estate is because they've just not learned about real estate to be able to leverage that knowledge properly and then invest, right? And my first thing that I'm going to say is learn about life first, your life, leverage that information and knowledge for your life first, and invest in yourself first and then real estate. I hope this has been helpful. It's a long video. If you got questions, please hit me down in the comment section below, or you can WhatsApp me. My number's in the description, or you can email me. Look forward to hearing from you. Press the subscribe button, hit the bell icon. Listen, I've promised my kids I'm a YouTuber, and I shall get a play button. I think there's one at 50,000, and then there's like the ultimate button at 1 million subscribers. I am gonna get there because my kids want me to be a YouTuber, so help me out. Okay, ciao for now. Talk to you soon, all right? Bye.